Hi, this is Matt with AppliancePartsPros.com. Today we'll be showing you how to repair your appliance. Remember, anytime you work on an appliance, make sure it's unplugged or the circuit breakers are off so there's no chance of electrocution. In this video we're going to show you how to change out the LG Dishwasher Sump Gasket. It's going to be a very easy repair and should only take a few minutes to show you how to do it. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can click on the link below or get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. When you open up the package, you're going to get the new sump gasket. The sump gasket seals the sump to the dishwasher body. The main reason you'll be changing it out is if it's damaged and you're getting water leaking on the floor. In order to get to the part, we have to open up the dishwasher door. Once you have the door open, we're going to take out the lower dish rack. All you have to do is grab it, pull it out. Once you have it out, you can lift it off and set it aside. Now that we have the lower rack out, we have to take the spray arm out. We're just going to move it off to the side so we can see both the screws. Then we can use a Phillips screwdriver to take them out. You want to be careful when you're taking these out. You want to drop them down into the pump. Once you have the screws out, you can lift the spray arm out and set it aside. Now that we have the spray arm out, we have to take out this tube that goes into the pump. We're just going to use the Phillips screwdriver and take out this screw. Once you have the screw all the way out, you can grab the screw in the bracket and set it aside. And then we can reach in and lift the tube out of the pump and just set it out of the way so it doesn't go back in there. Now that we have the tube out of the pump, we're going to take the front panel off the dishwasher door. We're going to use a Phillips screwdriver to take out the screws. As you're taking the last screw out, I'm going to hold the door panel on so it doesn't drop down. Once you have the last screw out, you can carefully lift the door up while holding the outer panel on. You can let it drop down a little bit, pull the bottom out, and then pull it off the dishwasher and set it aside. Now that we have the front panel off, we're going to take off the access panel and the support panel behind it. We're going to use a Phillips screwdriver to take out the screws. Once you have the screws out, you can pull the access panel off, set it aside. You can reach in and pull the insulation out. To get the support panel off, we're just going to use a Phillips screwdriver to remove the two screws on each side. Once you have all four screws out, we're just going to carefully pull the panel forward. There's a couple tabs right here that we have to slide forward. And then we can rotate it down a little bit and take a small flathead screwdriver. There's a couple tabs we have to release right here so the electrical harness stays with the dishwasher. Once you have them free, you can pull the panel off and set it aside. Now that we have the access panels out of the way, we can reach in and take off these locking tabs. There's two of them here on the front of the pump. We're going to reach in with the Phillips screwdriver and take out the screws. As you're taking the screws out, you want to make sure you don't drop the screws or the locking brackets. So you're going to have to reach in there and get them out. Once you have the screw out, you can pull them out and set them aside. Once you have the brackets out of the way, you can reach in and press on these tabs and then lift up on the sump assembly. You have to do both sides. Once you have the sump free, we can go back inside the dishwasher. Once you have the door open, you're going to have to put something on it that's not going to scratch it, that's heavy enough to hold the door open because we have the outer panel off. Once you have the door open, we can reach in and take the sump gasket off. To get it off, we're just going to lift up on the sump, and then we can pull the gasket off. Once you have it off the sump, you can pull it out of the dishwasher. Here's the old sump gasket next to the new one. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can get it at appliancepartspros.com. Before you put the new sump gasket in, you want to make sure you clean the lip here where it's going to sit. You want to make sure you don't have any residue from the old seal. You want to make sure you get a good seal. And we're going to put the sump gasket around the sump, and then you can also get the edges wet too, so it slides into the lip easier. Just going to work it around and get it on the sump. Once you have it worked all the way around the sump, we can get the edges wet so we can push it down into the lip. Once you have it wet, we can lift up on the front of the sump assembly, and we're going to have to push in on each of those locking tabs we released earlier with a small flathead screwdriver so they drop down inside the tub. Once you have them in place, we can push down and lock it into the tub. Now that we have the sump set in place, we can close the door. I'm just going to take the weight off and let the door close. Once you have the door closed, we can go underneath and put the brackets on. All you have to do is line them up on the locking tabs on the sump. Once you have them in place, you have to lift up on them and then pull forward a little bit so that the hole lines up. You can hold it in place and use the Phillips screwdriver to put the screw in. Once you have this side in, we can do the one on the other side. Once you have both brackets in, we can put the support panel back on. Before you lift it up into place, remember we have to snap the wiring harness into it. Once you have the wiring harness snapped in, you can lift the panel up. And just remember on each end you have to hook the support panel onto the frame. Once you have the panel in place, we can use the Phillips screwdriver to put the screws in. Once you have all the screws in, we can put the insulation and the access panel on. To put the insulation in, we're just going to line it up and push it into place. Once you have it in place, we can put the access panel on and use the Phillips screwdriver to put the screws in. Now that we have the access panel back in place, we can put the outer door panel on. To put the outer door panel back on, we're just going to line it up so that the tabs go into the slots. You can lift it up into place. Once you have the tabs in, you can push the lower half of the door in. And then while we hold it, we can open up the dishwasher door. Once you have the door open, we can use the Phillips screwdriver to put the screws in. Once you have all the screws in, we can go back inside the dishwasher and put everything back together. First, we're going to put the water supply tube back in. All you have to do is line it up and push it into the pump. Once you have it in place, you can use the Phillips screwdriver to put the bracket with the screw in. Same as when we took it off. You want to be careful and don't drop these so they don't go down inside the pump. Once you have the bracket in, we can put the spray arm back in. We're just going to line it up, set it into place. Once you have it in place, you want to turn it so you can see both screw holes. We can use the Phillips screwdriver to put the screws in. Once you have the spray arm in, we can put the lower dish rack back in. To put the dish rack back in, all I have to do is set it into place and push it back into the dishwasher. Once you have it in, you can close the dishwasher door, plug it back in, take it for a spin. Thanks for joining us for another successful repair brought to you by AppliancePartsPros.com. Check out our other repair videos on our site, Facebook, and YouTube.